Hello, friends. Today I'm here with another tutor marked assignment. So let's start the session. Course code of this assignment is DECE1. Assignment code is DECE1 TMA1 2023. The 30th September 2023 for January 2023 session up to 30th March 2024 for July session 2023. So the total marks this assignment contains is 100. All three sections you have to attempt. It's compulsory. So section A, you have to answer all the questions and it contains 60 marks. Question 1 is its A part is explain the cephalocaudal and proximodistal directions of development. The cephalocaudal and proximodistal direction of development are two important concepts in understanding human growth and development. Both of these concepts describe the ways in which different parts of the body develop and mature over time, and how these chains are related to one another. The cephalocaudal direction of development refers to the pattern of development that starts at the head and moves down towards the feet. This means that during parental development, the head and brain are the first parts of the body to form, and then the rest of the body follows in a sequential order. For example, the eyes and ears form before the arms and legs, and the hands and feet form before the fingers and toes. This pattern of development is also reflected in every motor development. Infants are typically able to lift their heads before they are able to control their arms and legs, and they are able to sit up and crawl before they are able to stand and walk. This is because the muscles and nerves in the head and upper body develop earlier and are more developed than those in the lower body during the early stages of development. The proximodistal direction of the development refers to the pattern of development that starts from the center of the body and moves towards the outer extremities. This means that the core muscle and skeleton structure of the body develop before the arms, legs, and fingers. This pattern of development is also evident in motor development as infants learn to control their trunk and core muscles before they are able to control their arms and legs. Both cephalocaudal and proximodistal directions of development are interrelated and occur simultaneously. For example, as the head and upper body develop, the muscles in the neck and shoulders become stronger, allowing for more control and movement of the arms and hands. Similarly, as the trunk and core muscles develop, the legs and the feet become stronger, enabling the child to stand and eventually walk. Understanding these directions of development is important for parents and healthcare providers to identify any potential developmental delays or concerns and to provide appropriate support and interventions as needed. For example, if a child is delayed in reaching motor milestones such as crawling or walking, it may indicate a delay in either the cephalocaudal or proximodistal direction of the development. Early intervention and support can help to address these delays and promote healthy growth and development. The cephalocaudal and proximodistal direction of development are important concepts in understanding human growth and development. These directions describe the ways in which different parts of the body develop and mature over time, and how these chains are related to one another. By understanding these directions, parents, caregivers, and healthcare providers can better support and promote healthy growth and development in children. Why are the motor abilities of a child in the age group of birth to 1 year of age? This is the second part of question 1. The period from birth to 1 year of age is a critical time for the development of a child's motor abilities. During this time, infants go through many important developmental milestones that build the foundation for their future motor skills. Here are some of the key motor abilities that typically develop during this stage. Head control. During the first few months of life, infants are able to gain control over their neck muscles, allowing them to lift and turn their head in response to stimuli. This is an important foundation for the development of other motor skills as it enables infants to explore their environmental and interact with others. Rolling over. Around 4 to 6 months of age, infants begin to develop the ability of roll over from their back to their stomach and vice versa. The milestone helps infants to develop the muscles in their core and upper body and prepares them for more complex movements such as crawling and sitting up. Sitting up. By 6 to 8 months of age, infants are typically able to sit up with support, and by 8 to 10 months, they are able to sit up independently. This milestone is important for developing the muscles in the back and neck and for providing a stable base for further development of motor skills. Crawling. Between 6 to 10 months of age, infants develop the ability to crawl, which allows them to explore their environment and develop their hand eye coordination. Crawling also helps to strengthen the muscle in the arms and legs and prepares them for further mobility. Standing and walking. By the end of the first year of life, infants typically develop the ability to stand with support and take their first steps. These milestones mark the beginning of more complex gross motor skills and require the development of strong leg muscles and balance. In addition to these gross motor skills, infants also develop important fine motor skills during the first year of life. For example, they begin to explore objects with their hands and fingers and develop the ability to grasp and manipulate objects. They also develop hand eye coordination, which is important for future activities such as drawing, writing, and playing sports. It is important to note that every child develops at their own pace and there is a wide range of what is considered typical development. Some children may reach these milestones earlier or later than others, and this is not necessarily a cause for concern. However, if parents or caregivers notice significant delays in their child's motor development, it is important to consult with a healthcare provider to determine if intervention or therapy is needed. The first year of life is a critical time for the development of motor skills in infants. During this time, infants develop important gross and fine motor skills that build the foundation for future movement and coordination. By understanding these milestones and supporting infants in their development, parents and caregivers can help to promote healthy growth and development. Second question is describe one activity each for fostering the development of the following abilities in 4-year-old child. First part is pre-reading skills, B part creativity, C fine motor skills. For each activity, mention its goals, materials required if any, and procedure to carry out the activity. First is pre-reading skills. Activity Picture book scavenger hunt goal to enhance pre reading skills by identifying and recognizing shapes and patterns in picture books. Materials Picture books with bright and colorful images, a list of items to search for, such as animals, objects, shapes, and a pen or pencil. Procedure Choose a picture book with lots of bright and colorful images. Create a list of items to search for in the book, such as animals, objects, or shapes. Sit down with the child and explain the game. You will give them a list of things to look for in the book and they will have to find them. Go through the book together, pointing out the items on the list as they are found. Encourage the child to describe the items they find. Ask questions about them and make connections to their own experiences. Once all the items on the list have been found, ask the child to point out other interesting details in the book. Creativity activity Create your own storybook. Goal to promote creativity and imagination by creating a storybook. Materials black paper, crayon or colored pencil, scissors, glue, and any other art supplies. Procedure Give the child a blank notebook or several sheets of blank paper. Ask the child to come up with a story, which can be anything from frictional tale to a personal experience. Once the story is determined, encourage the child to draw pictures or create collages that represent each part of the story. Assist the child in creating a cover by the storybook. Once the storybook is complete, read it together and ask the child to explain the story and artwork. Then C part is fine motor skills, activity Play-Doh, shapes, goal to develop fine motor skills and hand-eye coordination through the manipulation of Play-Doh. Materials Play-Doh, a flat surface to work on, and a variety of Play-Doh tools such as rolling pins, cookie cutters, and plastic knives. Procedure Give the child a lump of Play-Doh and a flat surface to work on. Encourage the child to manipulate the Play-Doh in different ways, such as rolling it into balls, flattening it with their palms, or pulling it into long strings. Introduce Play-Doh tools such as rolling pins, cookie cutters, and plastic knives. Ask the child to create different shapes and objects using the Play-Doh and tools. Encourage the child to experiment with different colors and textures of Play-Doh to create a variety of shapes and objects. Once the child has completed their creations, ask them to describe what they have made and ask questions about their processes. Now the third question is, what are the language ability of a child between 3 to 6 years of age? Language development is a critical aspect of a child's growth and development. During the ages of 3 to 6 years, children experience a significant increase in their language abilities, which helps them to communicate more effectively with others. In this period, the child's brain is rapidly developing and they are acquiring new language skills at an incredible pace. Here are the key language abilities of a child between 3 to 6 years age. Vocabulary. At the age of 3, most children have a vocabulary of about 900 words. By the age of 4, this number increases about 1500 words, and by the age of 5, it is around 2000 words. Children in this age group are continuously learning new words and they can understand and use a wide range of words. Syntax and grammar. Children's language ability in terms of syntax and grammar develop rapidly during this period. They begin to use complex sentence structure and their sentences become longer and more sophisticated. They can use past and future tenses correctly and understand the difference between singular and plural. Pronunciation. Most children have learned to pronounce all the sounds in their native language by the age of 4, although they may still struggle with some sounds. Their speech is much clearer and easier to understand, and they can communicate their ideas effectively. Narrative skills. Children between the age of 3 to 6 years begin to develop narrative skills which involve telling stories. They can tell simple stories and their narratives become more complex as they grow older. Children at the age can describe events in a logical sequence and they can also include details about the characters and the setting. Phonological awareness. Phonological awareness is the ability to identify and manipulate sounds in language. Children in the age group develop greater phonological awareness, which means they can recognize rhythmic words, segment words into symbols, and identify the initial and final sounds of words. Phonological awareness is a critical skill for reading and writing, and its development at this age lays the foundation for later reading skills. Pragmatics. Pragmatics refers to the social aspect of language, such as understanding how to use language appropriately in different situations. Children between the age of 3 to 6 years begin to develop an understanding of pragmatics, which help them to communicate more effectively with others. They learn to adjust their language to suit different situations, such as speaking more politely with adults. Metalinguistic awareness. Metalinguistic awareness is the ability to think about language itself. Children in the age group begin to develop metalinguistic awareness, which means they can identify different parts of speech, understand how language works, and use this knowledge to improve their language skills. What are the factors that influences language development? Language development is a complex process that is influenced by a range of factors, including biological, environmental, and social factors. Here are some of the factors that can affect language development: genetics, environment, socio-economic status, hearing, recognitive abilities, bilingualism, culture. This is all. Discuss any two methods of reaching out to parents to involve them in the activities of the child care center. Reaching out to parents and involving them in the activities of a child care center is essential for building strong partnerships and ensuring the overall development of children in care. Here are two methods that child care centers can use to reach out to parents and involve them in the center's activity. Parent teacher communication. Communication is the key to building relationship and partnership between parents and child care center staff. Establishing a regular communication channel between parents and teacher can help keep parents informed about the child's progress, learning experiences, and any challenges or concerns. The primary goal of parent teacher communication is to foster a positive, collaborative relationship and ensure that the child's needs are being met at the center. To implement this method, child care centers can use a variety of communication channels such as emails, phone calls, newsletters, or apps. These channels can be used to share information about the child's daily activities, milestones, and overall progress. Child care centers can also schedule regular meetings between parents and teachers to discuss any concerns or challenges and develop strategies to support the child's development. Parent involvement events. Another effective method of involving parents in the activities of a child care center is through parent involvement events. These events provide an opportunity for parents to interact with the center staff, other families, and participate in their child's learning experiences. Parent involvement events can include open houses, culture events, holiday celebrations, and parent teaching association meetings. To implement this method, child care centers can plan and promote parent involvement events throughout the year. These events should be engaging, interactive, and relevant to the child's development. Child care center can also solicit feedback from parents to determine their interest and preferences for events and activities. List out the 5 stages in planning a curriculum. Curriculum planning is the process of designing and developing a structured educational program that outlines the learning goals, objectives, and activities for students. Effective curriculum planning is essential for ensuring that students receive a comprehensive and meaningful education that prepares them for success in their future academic and professional endeavors. Here are the five stages involved in planning a curriculum: needs assessment, setting learning objectives, developing curriculum content, and fourth is implementation and assessment. Fifth is evaluation and revision. What are long term and the short term goals? Long term goals and short term goals are both important aspects of goal setting, but they refer to different time frames and types of objectives. Long term goals are generally those that take longer than a year to achieve. They are often broad and overreaching, representing major accomplishments that an individual or organization would like to achieve in the future. Examples of long term goals might include getting a college degree, starting a business, or retiring comfortably. Long term goals are important because they help individuals and recognizations to stay focused on the big picture and to avoid getting bogged down in day to day activities. They provide a sense of direction and purpose and can help motivate individuals to work hard and stay committed to their goals. Short term goals, on the other hand, are those that can be achieved in the near future, usually within days, weeks, or months. They are often more specific and concrete than long term goals and are designed to help individuals and organizations make progress towards the larger objectives. Examples of short term goals might include completing a project, making a sale, or losing 10 pounds. Short term goals are important because they provide a sense of accomplishment and progress, which can help individuals to stay motivated and engaged. They also help individuals break down larger goals into smaller, more manageable steps, which can make them easier to achieve. In order to achieve long term goals, it is often necessary to set and achieve many short term goals along the way. For example, a person who wants to complete a college degree might set short term goal of completing each semester, getting good grades in each class, and finishing required coursework on time. By achieving these short term goals, the person can make steady progress toward their long term goal of graduating with a degree. It is important to note that both long term and short term goals are important for success for and that they should be aligned with each other. Short term goals should support long term goals and help individuals and organizations to make progress towards their larger objectives. At the same time, long term goals should provide direction and purpose for short term goals and help individuals and organizations stay focused on the big picture. Long term and short term goals are both important aspects of goal setting. Long term goals provide direction and purpose, while short term goals help individuals and organizations make progress towards their larger objectives. By setting and achieving both long term and short term goals, individuals and organizations can achieve success and reach their full potential. Sixth question is, discuss any three causes of aggression among young children. Explain three strategies using which parent can socialize, handle the child's aggression behavior. Aggression among young children can be caused by a variety of factors, including biological, psychological, and social factors. Here are these possible causes of aggression in young children. Biological factors include: some research suggests that aggression in young child may have a biological basis. For example, studies have shown that children with certain genetic variation may be more prone to aggression than others. Additionally, some children may have imbalances in brain chemicals such as serotonin or dopamine, which can affect their mood and behavior. Then another is environmental factors. Children's environment can also play a role in their level of aggression. Children who experience neglect or abuse or who witness violence in their homes or communities may be more likely to display aggression behavior. Similarly, children who grow up in high stress environment or who experience frequent disruption in their routines may be more prone to aggression outburst. Modeling: children learn many behaviors by observing those around them, including their parents, siblings, and peers. If a child is regularly exposed to aggressive behavior, either at home or in other settings, they may begin to model that behavior themselves. This can be particularly problematic if the child's role models are not providing positive examples of conflict resolution or emotional regulation. It's important to note that aggression in young children is a complex issue and may have multiple causes. In some cases, aggression may be related to an underlying mental health condition such as ADHD or anxiety. Additionally, some children may struggle with expressing their emotions in a healthy way, leading to frustration and outbursts. To address aggression in young children, it is important to take a holistic approach that considers all possible factors contributing to the behavior. This may involve working with parents or caregivers to identify potential environmental or modeling influences as well as conducting assessments to rule out underlying mental health conditions. Strategies such as positive reinforcement for good behavior, teaching emotional regulation skills, and providing a structured and predictable environment may also be helpful in reducing aggressive behavior. Aggression behavior in children can be challenging for parents to manage, but there are several strategies that can be effective in helping to socialize and handle this behavior. Here are three possible strategies. Positive reinforcement. One effective way to socialize a child's behavior is through positive reinforcement. This involves providing prize or rewards when the child displays appropriate behavior, such as using kind words or sharing with others. This can help the child to learn that certain behaviors are more desirable than others and can encourage them to engage in positive behaviors more frequently. Consistency and structure. Children thrive in environments that are predictable and consistent. When parents establish clear expectations for behavior and consistently enforce consequences for inappropriate behavior, children are more likely to learn what is expected of them and to develop self control. This can involve setting clear boundaries and sequences for aggressive behavior, such as taking away a toy or temporarily removing the child from the situation. It is important for parents to communicate these rules and consequences clearly and to follow through consistently. Then, third is emotional regulation. Teaching children to recognize and manage their emotion can also be an effective strategy for addressing aggressive behavior. This can involve helping children identify their feelings and providing them with strategies to manage their emotions in a healthy way, such as taking deep breaths or counting to 10. Parents can also model healthy emotional expressions by demonstrating how to communicate their own feelings in calm and respectful manner. This can help children to learn express themselves in a more constructive way and to develop more positive social skills. It is important to remember that every child is different and what works for one child may not work for another. Additionally, some children may require additional support such as therapy or counseling to address more severe or persistent aggression behavior. Parents should always consult with a healthcare professional if they have concerns about their child's behavior. What points will you keep in mind while evaluating space and play materials in an ECCE center? Make a checklist to support your answer. When evaluating space and play materials in an early childhood care and education center, it is important to consider several factors to ensure that the environment is safe, stimulating, and supportive of children's learning and development. Here are some points to keep in mind while evaluating space and play materials in an ECCE center. The space. It is the space well lit and well ventilated. Is the space clean and free from hazards such as sharp objects or tripping hazards? Is the space appropriately sized for the number of children using it? Is there adequate space for both active play and quiet play? Is the space organized in a way that allows children to move freely and independently? No play materials. Are the materials age appropriate and developmentally appropriate for the children using them? Do the materials allow for open ended exploration and imaginative play? Are the materials durable and safe for children to use? Are the materials diverse and representative different cultures, backgrounds, and abilities? Are the materials easily accessible to children and organized in a way that promote independent use and cleanup? Checklist. Is the space clean and well maintained? Are there appropriate safety measures in place such as fire extinguishers and first aid kits? Is the space organized in a way that allows for both active and quiet play? Is there adequate space for all children to move and play freely? Are the materials diverse and representative of different cultures, backgrounds, and abilities? Are the materials age appropriate and developmentally appropriate for the children using them? Are the materials durable and safe for the children to use? Are the materials easily accessible to children and organized in a way that promote independent use and cleanup? Is there a balance between structured and unstructured play opportunities? Is there enough variety in the materials and activities to keep children engaged and stimulated? Are the materials and activities aligned with the center's curriculum and learning goals? Write about each of the following in about 200 words each. Altruism and empathy. Altruism is the act of helping others without any expectation of personal gain or reward. Behaviors can range from simple acts of kindness, such as helping someone with a task, to more significant acts, such as donating money or risking one's own safety to help someone in need. Altruism is often motivated by a desire to improve the well being of others, and it is generally considered to a positive and admirable trait. Empathy, on the other hand, is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. When we feel empathy for someone else, we are able to put ourselves in their shoe and imagine how they might be feeling. This can help us to respond in more appropriate and compassionate ways, such as offering comfort or support. Empathy is important for building social connections and fostering positive relationships, and it is often seen as a key component of emotional intelligence. While and empathy are related, they are not the same thing. Altruistic behavior can be motivated by a variety of factors, including a sense of duty, a desire to be seen as a good person, or even personal gain. Empathy, on the other hand, is an emotional response that helps us to understand and connect with others. It is possible to feel empathy without acting altruistically, and it is possible to act altruistically without feeling much empathy. That being said, empathy can be an important motivator for altruistic behavior. When we feel empathy for someone else, we may be more likely to help them because we understand their needs and want to alleviate their suffering. In this way, empathy can help to promote positive social behaviors and strengthen social bonds. Points to keep in mind while evaluating indoor space of a child care center: safety and security, size and layout, adequate lighting and ventilation, age appropriate materials, cleanliness and hygiene, accessibility, regulatory compliance. Any one method for evaluating child's progress? There are several methods for evaluating child progress depending on the specific age group, subject area, and learning objectives. Here are some commonly used methods. Formal assessment. These are standardized tests that measure a child's knowledge and skill in a specific subject area. Example include state achievement test, IQ test, and college interest exams. Informal assessment. These are less formal assessment that are typically conducted by teachers or parents to track a children's progress. Examples include observations, checklists, and anecdotal records. Portfolios. A portfolio is a collection of a child's work over time. It can be used to demonstrate progress in a variety of subjects as well as to showcase a child's strengths and interests. Rubrics. A rubric is a scoring guide that outlines the criteria for success in a particular assignment or project. Rubrics can be used to evaluate a child's progress and provide feedback for improvement. Self assessment involves having a child reflect on their own learning and progress. This can be done through writing or verbal reflection, goal setting, or other forms of self evaluation. Critical periods in development. Critical periods in development refers to specific periods of time during an organism's growth and development. When it is a particular sensitive to certain environmental stimuli or experiences during these periods, certain developmental processes occur at an accelerated rate, and the effects of experiences or lack thereof can have significant and long lasting effects on the organism's development. Here are some examples of critical periods in development. Language development. The critical period for language acquisition is thought to be between birth and age 5. During this time, children's brains are particularly receptive to language input, and if they do not receive exposure to language during this period, they may struggle with language development later on. Vision development. The critical period for visual development occurs during the first few years of life. During this time, the visual system is developing rapidly, and exposure to visual stimuli is necessary for the development of normal vision. Social and emotional development. The first few years of life are also critical for social and emotional development. Infants and young children need responsive, nurturing relationship with caregivers to develop secure attachment, emotional regulation skills, and social skills. Music development. The critical period for music development is thought to be during childhood and adolescence. Exposure to music during this time can have a significant impact on a child's ability to learn and appreciate music later in life. Capabilities of a newborn. Newborns are born with a range of innate abilities and reflexes that enable them to survive and adapt to their new environment. Here are some of the capabilities of a typical inborn. Reflexes. Inborns have a range of reflexes that help them to adapt to their new environment, such as the rooting reflexes, which helps them find the breast for feeding, and the grasping reflexes, which allows them to grasp objects placed in their hand. Sensory abilities. Newborns have well developed senses of hearing, touch, and taste, and can also detect some odors. Their vision, however, is not fully developed at birth, and they can only see objects within 8 to 12 inches from their face. Basic motor skills. Newborns have some basic motor skills such as moving their limbs and turning their head from side to side, which helps them explore their surroundings. Crying. Newborns have the ability to cry to communicate their needs, such as hunger or discomfort. Social responsiveness. Newborns are capable of recognizing and responding their child givers, caregivers, voices, and faces, and can also engage in social interactions such as eye contact. And so, this was all about the section 1. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Bye.